Alright, so today I'm going to try to tackle this project and talk a little bit about this pool. We bought it, I think, midsummer. We've been talking about getting a pool for a while, and we got a pretty good deal on this. I think this is the Coleman Vista Ridge, I think, pool. It's 18 feet across, 4 feet deep, and I think it's originally like $500 or $600, but my husband found it on sale at Walmart for $300, so we decided to just go for it. And we had some trouble when we filled the pool. We have a lot of iron in our water, and ended up using some YouTube hacks. Maybe I'll talk about that in a separate video. But and we ended up getting the water like nice and clean. It was great. The kids enjoyed it. The water got nice and warm. I would say it was like 75 to 80, throughout the end of the summer. But then it really cooled off fast, and we had to stop using it. And so then my task was to empty it and clean it up. We would like to actually take it down and fold it up and store it over the winter. We live in Michigan, so we get lots of snow, and we just don't want it up throughout the winter. So I need to figure out how to get all of the water out, and it's even more challenging because it's yucky. I don't know if you can see it. There's a lot of algae in the bottom. As I started to empty it, you can see the hose is still attached to the pool, and it emptied really slowly, which is fine because it's going out there in the woods. I didn't want to overwhelm our yard with the water, so that was fine. And as it went down, I would climb in and take a brush and kind of brush the sides to clean it as we went. But now the water is down below where it will empty out. And so I'm going to have to figure out some method for getting the rest of the water out and also cleaning out the scuzz. So stay tuned. I'll let you know how it goes. Okay, well, just a quick update. I've not been totally successful today. I did spend a lot of time in there. I tried siphoning via 3 different hoses to no avail. There is still a little bit of water coming out that hose at the bottom. And so my strategy for today, at least, was to put boards underneath the supports on the opposite side where it's the deepest and lift it up so that the water would flow towards the opening over here, the valve. So that has helped a little bit. There's a little bit of water coming out, but it's not enough. And yes, I did climb in there and I scrubbed the sides. It was as disgusting as you would imagine. And then I promptly took a shower because it was that bad. But hopefully I'll have something better to update later. Okay, I have an update. I was not able to get any more water out of the pool using the methods I talked about yesterday, the siphoning and whatnot. But my husband suggested just dropping the sides. And I wondered about if that would be too much water in the yard. I mean, as you can see, our yard is not lush and fantastic, and it's actually very sandy, so it can handle the water pretty well. So I dropped down several of the supporting legs, and then removed the pieces, the connecting pieces in between, and I'm happy with the water. It's still moving out slowly, and then in the meantime I can slog around in there, and I've got an old broom that I've been using to brush the bottom and keep that yucky algae moving so that it exits the pool too. So hopefully it won't be too disgusting, too much to clean after the water's out of it. Okay, stay tuned. So I left off in the videos, and I unfortunately do not have any more footage of what I did, but I wanted to explain the end part, just in case that might be helpful for anyone. So after I got most of the water out, and I was using the broom to keep the bottom clean, at least, on the higher part as much as I could, to minimize how much I needed to clean later. I actually took out the rest of the supports around the pool, and I set those aside. Actually had my kids kind of bang out the legs because there's a lot of dirt in there. And then I hauled the pool, it was very heavy, up on top of our trampoline, which is not exactly the right size because our trampoline is about 15 feet, but I pulled it up there and inverted it So the inside of the pool, the floor was on top of the trampoline, and then the inside of the pool was facing out. So I could go around, and I used a hose, and there's like this little flap or this overlap that's part of the liner where the floor meets the walls. And I was able to use the hose and a brush and get in there and get all the algae out, and then, brush down the rest of the sides. And then from there, we let it dry out completely, which took a while because we had a few days of rain. And then after it was all dry, then we were able to get it folded up and stored away. So it was a lot more work than I anticipated, but I'm glad it's done, and we'll see how it goes next year. Maybe it'll be better. If you have suggestions for me, I would appreciate that. Go ahead and leave it in the comments. Thanks.